Hello, my name is Logan, and welcome to my presentation on increasing the biogas yield of wastewater treatment plants within Sydney. Our group early on within the semester was notified to select an issue that is prevalent within wastewater treatment plants throughout Sydney, and we would then conduct a research on this topic as part of assessment tasks 2 and 3. Originally, all of our group members suggested very good problem statements, such as improving the efficiency of stormwater treatment throughout Sydney. Our group had several meetings early on to discuss pros and cons for each of our proposed problem statements, until as a group we focused on increasing the biogas yield within wastewater treatment plants throughout Sydney. Some primary reasons our group settled on this topic include the immense potential to generate renewable energy that can be used to power the wastewater treatment plant and potentially power homes nearby, as well as the operational costs that are saved since this water treatment plants are incredibly energy reliant. The cost-cutting measures by having the energy requirements produced on site will be worthwhile. Also, increased biogas production can make plants self-sufficient, so if there is any other major power outages, wastewater can still be treated, keeping hygiene through large-scale blackouts. Currently, there are multiple solutions to this problem. The primary solutions that we'll be covering will be cogeneration, physical pretreatment, biological pretreatment, and chemical pretreatment. Cogeneration is a valid potential solution that is used to increase total biogas yield within wastewater treatment plants. It makes use of incorporating multiple forms of feedstock into the anaerobic digester unit. While most wastewater treatment plants that produce biogas only use the activated sludge from the wastewater treatment plant within the anaerobic digestion stage, through utilizing co-digestion, other feedstocks such as animal manure, grains, food waste, oil, grease, and fats can be introduced into the anaerobic digestion tank. These can significantly increase the biogas yield. Different alternate feedstocks and their specific biogas production can be found in the figure to the right. When analysing, it is clear that fats, oil, and grease are at top of the priority list if this were to be our proposed solution. There are three main forms of pretreatment that are commonly used in order to generate increased biogas. The first of which is physical pretreatment. This includes the thermal pretreatment and consists of pretreating the activated sludge in any physical way. The most common way of doing this is through hydrolysis, which consists of heating the sludge to a specific temperature in order to increase biogas yield. Through increasing the dewaterability as well as the disintegration of non-organic matter that is potentially present within the sludge. The second form of commonly found pretreatment is chemical pretreatment. This process includes the alteration of chemical elements present within the activated sludge. The most prevalent method of chemical pretreatment is alkaline pretreatment. This process involves rising the pH level of wastewater sludge to levels around 10, which in turn increases the biogas produced through hydrolysis. The third and final common form of pretreatment is biological pretreatment. This process works through introducing new bacteria to the bacteria that are already present within the activated sludge. This can in turn significantly increase the biogas yield through the new relationships formed between the introduced bacteria as well as the already existing bacteria within the wastewater sludge. So, the proposed solution. I have outlined the following parameters in order to select my proposed solution. They include the degree of sludge solubilization. The solution selected should have high degree of solubilization, as this is the primary factor in increasing the yield of biogas, as it means more inorganic material is removed, making the production of biogas much more efficient, leading to higher yields for less sludge treated. The second parameter that is required to be considered is the specific energy required. This is because for a solution to be implemented, it must be energy efficient in order for the aims of the solution to be met, including making the plant self-sufficient on energy. The third parameter includes the hydraulic retention time for anaerobic digestion. A certain amount of time needs to be selected in order for the biogas yield to be optimized, while also being efficient and not too long. The CN ratio, or carbon to nitrogen ratio, is another important parameter to be considered. This is because carbon-nitrogen ratio plays an important role within the production of biogas within anaerobic digestion. Low CO ratios, meaning not enough nitrogen present, severely limiting the biogas yield, with high CO ratios also adversely affecting the biogas yield. Some other parameters that are required to be met include volume capacity of treatment, so that the plant can keep up with the wastewater treatment, price of maintenance and operational costs, quality of biogas produced, environmental conditions surrounding the treatment plant, and price and ease of installation. Based on the previously mentioned criteria, my proposed solution is thermal pretreatment. of wastewater sludge. This is because it meets the suitability requirements the most while still maintaining a large biogas yield. Now that thermal pretreatment has been selected as my chosen solution, the parameters for thermal pretreatment, otherwise known as thermal hydrolysis, must also be laid out. Thermal hydrolysis will require implementing another step to the already long and complicated wastewater treatment process. An additional 3 tanks are required to be added, each with a significantly lower volume capacity than that of the anaerobic digester tanks that are already found within wastewater treatment plants. As such, the price of implementing these tanks is significantly lower than adding another potential pre-treatment method or other methods to increase biogas production. The 3 tanks required for the thermal hydrolysis are the pulper tank, which is used to preheat the sludge to ensure that it's ready for the next stage, utilizing steam that has been recovered from later stages of the thermal hydrolysis process. Next is the reactor tank. This is the tank which the sludge is heated. There are several smaller tanks within this stage, and the sludge is heated to 150 degrees Celsius for a hydraulic retention time of 30 minutes. This kills pathogens that could be present within the sludge, increasing the potential biogas yield when it undergoes anaerobic digestion. Next is the flush tank. This is the final stage of thermal pretreatment. Within this stage, the sludge is cooled down immensely and the steam generated is recycled back to the first stage of the process. This marks the completion of thermal pretreatment, and as such, the sludge is now ready for anaerobic digestion, where biogas can then be produced. While this solution does maintain almost all of the parameters that were outlined in order for a solution to be successful, there are a number of limitations and uncertainties that must be mentioned in order for a proper analysis of the problem to be undertaken. The main limitations are the production of excess nitrogen as well as soluble inerts. These are produced within the thermal pretreatment process and can lead to negative impacts within the generation of biogas. As such, cross-checks were made with the proposed solution, which found that the solution was still viable, as these negative primarily affects the thermal pretreatment at a temperature of upwards of 180 degrees, which would leave our solution of 150 degrees still viable. Overall, my experience with my group this semester was a positive one. All of the work completed on time with minimal to no arguments over sections, and an overall positive environment to ask for and receive feedback on sections which we had completed. I had a positive experience with the teachers in this subject as well, with very in-depth feedback being given on both assignments as well as within class. Some alternate actions I may have performed would be the utilization of Google Scholar more often within the subject, as well as incorporating more in-person meetings within my group. I feel as though these in-person meetings are valuable for strengthening team conditions, as well as trust in each other. Through having these meetings, I feel as though my mark within the subject may have been improved. Overall, this was a fun and intriguing subject that I had fun in partaking in. Thank you very much.